are you guys? Hi, y'all. How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all can hear me, first and foremost. Yes, welcome in. You can't hear me? Oh, no. How about now? Can y'all hear me? Listen, we're about to get into it. I'm going to add in our guests. Today we have Devale Ellis and we have Kevin A. Walton. I'm super excited to chat with them. Oh, I think Devale is here. I haven't done an IG live in so long, y'all. Bear with me. Bear with me. Added Devale. Hey, Brandon. Did I add you? No, I didn't. Oh,
Hey, what's
hi.
up?
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let me see.
That
Oh,
that episode was a lot.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're about to unpack. We're really about to unpack. I
yeah,
even shedded a few tears, honestly, and nothing really makes me cry. But I feel like these days I'm very emotional. So,
yeah. I think a lot more people need to be able to tap into their emotions these days. There's a lot going on, and that episode definitely did it for a lot of people. Kev, what's up, boy?
hi
What up, my
Kevin,
guy?
how are
How's it?
you?
Amazing. How we doing?
Amazing. All right, well, let me just
Beautiful.
introduce myself. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. We are doing the wind down. This is our second wind down live. I'm your host, Vanessa. We have our guest, Devale Ellis, who plays Zach, and we have
Mhm.
our other guest, Kevin A. Walton, who plays, oh, geez, sorry, my brain is going.
Aaron,
Aaron.
man.
My brain is going.
Indeed. Indeed.
And so normally we usually see them at odds. Tonight was such a
Yeah.
heavy episode. This is episode 2 of season 9. But first, before we get into it, I did want to ask you guys, what is your drink of choice tonight for the wind down?
After you, Devale. I got you, man.
Ah, see, I was about to tell you go ahead, but nah, I just got some rosé here.
Okay.
Something light. Can't have anything too
Oh,
heavy after watching that episode. I just needed something light.
yeah. How about you, Kevin?
I am rocking with a beautiful hot tea, a blend of a high mountain oolong with a little bit of golden eyebrow black tea and a little bit of jasmine pearl white. That's what I'm rocking with tonight.
Nice.
Mm.
I just have a simple green tea. It's I'm on the East Coast. Um, I did want to start off with an icebreaker as well. What's a goal that you guys have for this year that you're hoping to check off?
Hmm.
Change the conversation. I want when people watch this season of Sisters, the conversation changes. You're gonna see a lot of different things in this season. I don't want to give too much away because it's only the second episode, but y'all see we coming with the heavy hitters this season. First and foremost, kudos to the girls. Like
Yeah.
Ebony, oh my gosh, Ebony, man. I don't think there was a dry eye in my house tonight.
Mhm.
Crystal, of course, KJ. Novi, geez, Novi came in that hospital and tore it down. And of course, my favorite, Danny, Mingling. Like, shout out to the girls because this story is about them. This is what Black women are going through in this country. So, shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Mhm.
we're continuing. Oh, sorry, Kevin. Oh, were you gonna say something? Sorry.
No, I agree. I agree with what Val just stated. Yeah, especially in this season's an emotional one,
Yeah.
and they definitely came with it. And just this episode alone, it's a lot more to navigate, but it's a really powerful thing. So just nothing but kudos to them, and I love that goal of Val and the notion of um, all right, like and not just like changing the narrative itself, but also perspective. I think
Right.
bringing a lot more perspective and a lot more grounded
Hmm.
sense of being would be a goal to see happen with this too, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I love that you said like changing the perspective because normally when we talk about Black maternal health, it's usually through the lens of the women because as women
Right.
we are carrying the babies, but we're now talking to two men who have children of your own in real life.
Mhm.
I would love to know, how did you guys lean on each other for this scene? This was such a heavy episode. Was there anything in particular that you've endured in real life to like channel that energy or channel that emotion for this episode and filming?
Good.
Yeah, I mean, Devale, I'll let you speak on it first, brother, because you got the tribe of
Well, I
kiddos.
mean, it's well. I appreciate that, but it's well documented. We have four children. I almost lost Kadeem with our first son Jackson in a situation very similar to this. She was rushed into an emergency surgery after having Jackson. Her cervix was lacerated. She was bleeding out. And then with Cairo, after that, we decided to not go the epidural route and labor at home. And when we got to the hospital, she had the baby in triage. We refused any of the medications because we didn't need them. So they kicked us out the hospital and billed us $28,000 because we refused to take any of the medications. So, this is very serious to me. Like, I'm always joking and playing, but this is not a joke to me. That's why when you talk about how we prepared, Kevin and I had conversations about fatherhood. I think every season on
Absolutely.
Sisters, we've had
Yeah.
a conversation about fatherhood, and we lean on each other. I may have four kids, but Kevin has done a lot of work and still does a lot of work about getting men in alignment with themselves, with their emotions, with their feelings and their
Mhm.
thoughts. So a lot of times, even as a dad, I'll be like, "Yo, I know you only have one son, but are you going through this?" And
Mm-hmm.
he'll talk to me about it. And that bond that we created over the past 6 years is what you guys will see, not only in this episode, but the next few episodes in this season. You're going to
Yeah.
see Aaron and Zach go to a completely different level.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's something that Deval and I spoke to early on because it is like I love the conversations Deval and I have, and we drop in about a lot of different things in life, and especially around being a father and our experiences, and I talk a lot about the men I work with and what it means to help men mature in life and show up in different ways, and think so many different experiences that people are going through.
Right.
One of the things Val and I always spoke to is wanting to see Zach and Aaron forge a brotherhood and a bond
Hmm.
on the show to also give light to that, right?
Hmm.
To see where men can come together and actually be in connection and don't have to be at odds. And I think the stakes of this season and what's on the line for it really supports enhancing that, which had already started to show a little bit last season, but it really started to dial it in this
Yeah.
season for these really important moments. And I think it was like to me, Devon and I have a great connection in life right outside of the show,
Hmm.
which I'm very grateful for. Love this man, and I
Love you
think
too,
being able
bro.
to appreciate that and being able to stay tuned into connection, bring some of that essence into the nature of the character, and having different experience in our lives where like in what Deval described, and experiences where you feel where I can feel helpless, right? And what it means to be able to work through that
Hmm.
feeling and still stay engaged and stay present with what's happening because it's necessary, right? To be able to navigate your own emotional state and still stay in connection was a really powerful moment in this tonight's episode and the next few episodes to come, and it's awesome to rock with the Deval in it. So
Yeah, definitely. Was there a specific moment in the show or these past two episodes um, that I guess affected you or impacted you emotionally while filming it because you guys are fathers?
Man, man, that's why I'm laughing. I'm sorry, but
No, it's
me,
okay.
me and
all of it, yeah,
like me and Kevin, we get
yeah,
on these vans and we go to set to do these scenes, and we'll be in the van on our way, getting misty eyed, talking about our own children and
yeah,
how these stories are going to represent what we've gone through as dads, and we just want to be able to represent good, positive images of fathers on television so our kids can watch. Like, and this season was the first time me and Kev was like, "Yo, we're doing it." Like
yeah,
they're going to get a chance to watch two men that have to grieve in some way,
Right.
deal with their differences, but love each other like through it.
yeah,
Like, and it's not easy because remember, these characters really don't like each other, but we see them have to love each other, and it's amazing to watch. But me and Kevin, man, we get in that van and we talk about fatherhood all day. That's all we talk about. And we challenge each other and we talk about accountability. Are you working on this? Are you
Yeah,
working on that? And I'm really excited about this season of television and this relationship between Aaron and no, not Aaron. Well, yeah, well, Aaron and Zach.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So
And
this
then one
is
thing on
oh.
top of that, because of that, already having that connection,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, thinking of the character arc in this particular journey, and the way that Ebony played these scenes in this situation too,
Wow.
and the notion of like aside from the personal connection to be able to bring the emotion, I think also the arc of where they both are in this journey and like the edge of what's possible, right? And the fears of what direction this could go. And it's I think it was such a powerful moment that it was already kind of easy to tune into. And Ebony was so strong in her delivery of her performance with it
Yes.
that it was easy to just step in that just because like feeling for her in how it was given and then
Yes.
already having that connection to the character and our ability to feel into the emotion already and bring it, it was already a powerful moment that I think sets the stage for um, kind of a few more things and waves of emotions to come.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
Yeah.
And so you've guys spoken about having to lean on each other in this moment. How did you guys also lean on Ebony and her character Karen to like bring this full circle? Because this is a serious matter. And again, like we don't get to see the perspectives of normally from the man's angle. So I just would love to know like how was preparing for these scenes with Ebony, just to make sure that it delivered the way it did. Because again, I said earlier in the live, I cried watching this episode.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Wow,
know what?
that's good.
I'll say
No,
one
that's your
thing.
scene partner, so go ahead. That's
I
go
don't,
ahead.
I think it was a great, like I said, Ebony, I was about to cuss. I mean, I cussed often, but I was about to cuss on this place now. We'll dial it back. Um, right. Ebony crushed it, right? And Ebony does her thing.
Yeah,
And her and I had a conversation about the nature of where Aaron and Karen's journey is at this point and what's happening. And I think for me, being able to play off of it where Aaron's arriving at the hospital right up with glee, right? It's like I'm about to be father
Hmm.
with the woman I love, right? And there's that dialing in, and now there's this moment of like the plot twist, right? And the adversity and so really it didn't take much to lean into the connection with her because we've really dialed in the nature of our journey. And I think with part of Aaron's dialing back into his assertiveness and wanting to really be here for Aaron and the children, or for Karen and the children, um, that dedication was there. And then the idea of this being at risk, and again, the way Ebony was playing it, you could fall right into it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And and it and when I think about Aaron's journey with what this opportunity is for him to have a child of his own, a biological child, right? And with the woman he loves and how much that means to him, um, it was and again being able to play off of. I mean, there was a moment where in the script, uh, Aaron's response was kind of light when we found out some of the information in it, right, with what the how the doctor was being, and I was like, nah, we're gonna respond a little more heavy with this because it's far more like of a
Right.
striking moment. And so there's like moments where we got to just dial it up even more so because of the stakes, and everyone loved like just was willing to rock with it all the way through. And I think that was also a beautiful thing. And because of what Ebony was already giving, you know, and generous enough, it was really simple to play off of. But our connection and the dedication of where Aaron's landed in this, I think was it was more effortless in that sense.
definitely.
Yeah.
I do want to switch gears a little bit and like ask you as I'll ask both of you, but Kevin,
Mhm.
definitely start with this. Um, how do you think Aaron's balancing, like you said, he came into the scene excited, but now he's receiving all this information in real time. Like, how do you think he's balancing his emotions, and even fears of what
Yeah.
is to come?
Focusing on Karen, you know, like because seeing what she's going through, right, and having his own internal struggle in relation to it, his whole focus is be there for her, comfort her, make sure she's, being able to just put all that attention there, because it's kind of like something in my personal life where I talk about um, ways to move more harmoniously and optimally in life is to understand like clear vision, order of priority, and degree of importance. Right. And to me, it's like I use that in acting a lot because it helps paint a picture of what the scene looks like. And so in Aaron's struggle, it for all the helplessness and the worry and the struggle to in himself in relation to it, which yeah, him and Zach gonna have a really powerful moment in relation to that with
Mm-hmm.
which is coming up. I'm not gonna give it away, but it'll be coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But with Ebony and with Karen, that's how he did it. It was in this moment, I have to put my attention on being a comfort and a grounded space for her,
Yeah.
anything I can do to ensure she makes it through this, that she feels okay. And then with everyone else already being there also for support, it was like all his focus was, let me just anchor this in for her, and be there for her, and that was his full concern. Even when stepping away, it was coming back to that. And to me, that was the navigation for him, where if he was away from her, it's a moment where he could feel what's happening internally, but in her presence, his whole focus was, how can I make sure she's okay and comfort her, you know?
Yeah, and we definitely felt that for sure. And Devale for Zach, we know him to be very outspoken. He's gonna speak his
Yeah.
mind. But also in this scene, we seen him like very worrisome, but also a little bit more calmer. He just wanted to know like how he could be of help. Can you just talk a little bit more about his mindset?
Well, I mean, at this point in the show, Zach is now this is going to be his almost third time finding out that he's going to be a father, and in his mind, he wasn't there at all to see Michael go through any of this. So now he's in a position kind of like Aaron is. Like, I'm excited, like
Yeah,
I'm not with Karen anymore, but I get to be a father for the first time the right way. And
Yeah,
then now it seems like it's all being taken away from Zach. And not for nothing, this is what Zach is used to. When everything is going right, something always goes wrong. So now you see Zach is just kind of like, this is my life. Something's going wrong. What am I going to do? Crash out? I can't crash out. Let me just see how I can help. It helps that he has Fatima there. If you ever notice, he's constantly going back to Fatima.
right.
He didn't have a father figure, so he doesn't know how to lead and be a man. His mother was always absent, left him with anybody. So he always runs towards the women in his life. And for the first time in his life, he has a woman who knows how to take control of things. And that's what you get to see in this. This is the first time you get to see Zach take control over his life, but he has help.
yeah,
Yeah,
And you're gonna watch over the next couple episodes, you're gonna see not only Fatima helps, you're gonna see some people who you didn't expect help Zach. And that's why having this live right here, I'm giving it away a little bit, but you're gonna see
not too
two
much
men.
now.
Yeah, but you're gonna see two men really change the way they view each other. And a lot they call it a
yeah,
trauma bond because they're both going through something. But that's only gonna lead to greater things later on in the season. Trust me.
yeah.
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 Okay, so my last question before I get into some fan questions, because I'm seeing a lot of questions coming up in the
Mhm.
box, and I have some on the side, is um, what do you hope the audience watching this season walks away with and like can just take away with them in their own daily lives?
Mhm.
We're better together.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like the bickering has to stop. Where men and
Yeah.
women are better together, sisters are better together, brothers are better together. As a team, collectively, as humans, as people, we are all better together. I hope people walk away from this understanding that that's just a reality. The whole independent solo mentality, that's in the past. We better
Like,
together.
yeah, agreed wholeheartedly. I absolutely
Hmm.
support that statement Deval stated. And I think the other thing I'd like for them to take away too is listen to your body
Mm,
when it's telling you something, you know, because some people ignore certain
mm.
signs, right? And everybody's trying to be like, no, something's really off. And then people are like, no, it's normal. But if you know something's off, like really own that and do what's necessary um, to
Yeah.
get the support that's necessary, and I think I think those two things, like listen to your body and don't and take a stand for what you know is the proper thing to do, regardless of how people are being, regardless of what position they're in, right? What their role is. It's like if you know something's off, stand for it regardless. And second, exactly what Val stated, the recognition that we
That what
really
they
all
say?
are in
My
this
bad. That's
together.
what the kids say.
Clock
Clock it,
it, clock
clock
it.
it. Cause
Yes.
you right now you on something right there, for real, Kev, for real. Like
Yeah.
that's real talk.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's so
And we
important.
definitely seen that in this episode of just like everyone rallying around Karen. Like she's expressively saying over and over again, like something's wrong. And
Hmm.
we don't see any of the girls, we don't see Aaron or her mom, anybody saying like, oh, just wait it out. They're like, no, we need help now.
Hmm.
So it's also a beautiful thing that she has that community that believes her the first time and is also able to advocate on her behalf as well, so that it's louder in the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
100%.
let's get into some. Oh, there's a lot of questions now. Let's get into some fan questions. Let's scroll. Oh,
Where
this is
you
a
at,
good
Kev? At
one.
home?
I wonder if I could.
Yeah, I'm in my office.
Are
I
you
like to
guys
call it the wizard's den.
I
are
see
you
you.
guys able to
Yeah,
see this question at the bottom? This is from
Yes.
Jada Adele.
yep.
Will this experience with Karen change or affect how Zach and Fatima navigate their pregnancy?
Great question.
Wow. You guys are really good, because what you're gonna watch after this experience is you're gonna watch how Zach changes, but also how Fatima changes, and what conflicts that cause, because they both experience something that they never want to experience themselves. So that's a great question. But yeah, you'll see how it affects the both of them, and we'll see how they deal with that going through the rest of the season.
Mhm.
This is a good one as well. Hearts for Kyla. What were the emotions you guys were feeling when reading and breaking down the script?
Oh man. Uh, so three main, what I would say is anger, sadness, and fear.
Mm,
Right, the three main for Aaron, and then inside of that, like inside the anger was powerlessness, like the idea of knowing something can be done, it's not happening in the moment. Helplessness, which is in the fear of not knowing what to do like that's one of the statements Aaron made, right? If I could just take this pain away from you, I would, so feeling helpless that she has to go through it, and he just has to be there with her to do whatever he can. And then the sadness in the idea of the loss, right? The potential loss and what can when happen. And so I think those are some of the main key emotions that I dialed in for Aaron. And even in relation to some of the upcoming episodes, when Aaron and Zach have some interactions, it's pretty much the same. How about you, Devale?
No, I'm gonna be honest, powerless.
Yeah,
Having gone through this already once with Kadeen, and then reading the script. This is not a funny story, but Crystal will tell you, when we were doing our Zooms, we get to the hospital scene and I'm reading through it while her and tears are just falling while I'm reading and reading and reading. And she's like, I know this is tough because, Kadeen and I also lost a child a couple years ago in
yeah,
between Kaz and Dakota. So reading it was therapeutic in a way, because it was also telling me as a human, like, yo, you still haven't dealt with this. The simple fact that you can't read this and you're still crying, you haven't dealt with this. But then I also felt proud because I'm like, this is a story I get a chance to tell. It's like I get to tell this story and people will see it. Millions of people will watch this and people will start to talk about this. So I felt prideful afterwards. Like, you know what? Like, let's do this justice. So the first thing was powerless for Zach. I felt powerless for him because I felt like that. But then it was just happy as Devale. Like, we get to tell the story and represent for the women in our lives.
definitely. This is another. Oh, it cut off. Have either of you thought about how you can empower your own children? I know you guys have younger children, so they're not there yet, but empowered your own children in the labor and delivery ward or medical system in general. Hold on. In general, knowing the risk we face as Black people. And I guess to make this question a little bit more concise, how will you guys approach talking about your experience
Well,
with
this
your children when that time comes.
this is easy to me. I'm a 14, 7, 8, and a 3-year old. The biggest thing I do to empower them is be open and honest about what me and their mom have been through to help them come here. We
Exactly.
vlogged and captured all of this stuff from Cairo to Cass to Dakota just so that they can go back and watch. Because the first thing I think that needs to happen in all cultures is that men need to learn what women go through, not only to just conceive babies, but carry and then deliver. And then postpartum is a whole nother beast that, in our culture, we don't even talk about. So
Yeah.
for me to empower my sons, because I have 4 sons, I'm empowering my sons by helping them become doula dads, know everything about the process, not just conception. We learn a lot about conceptions. You can stick your thing anywhere, but what happens after that? And seriously, when
Yeah.
men are more knowledgeable about what goes on in this process, and a man comes in the hospital and says, "My wife feels away," someone need to pay attention. They listen. Because in the last 4 years, I think Cam from our show, Giviad, Remington, all guys who play on Sisters, all had daughters, right? And the one thing they asked me going into it was, yo, what do I need to know going into this hospital? Do not, like Kevin said, do not let anybody tell you about your wife. If your wife says she feels a way, do not let them tell you that they know better, because they don't. Women know. And all of them got out of there. Even Danielle, who plays Belinda, she had a baby. Jazzy, she had her baby. She's having the second one. What Kevin said probably is if nobody takes anything away from this live, when that man said, listen to your body, ladies, listen. Don't let nobody tell you about your body. That is a fact. That's how I'm going to empower my boys to do the same thing for the women in their lives. Stand up and let them know. I know what it is, because when I walked into that hospital with Kate, that last time I was like, you can't tell me about my wife. My wife, I know everything. You want to talk about labor and delivery? I done did the research. I know that black women die 5 to 1 to their white counterparts, and we're only 16 to 17% of the population. So make that make sense. I don't trust you. You don't trust me, Mr. Ellis? No, I don't. I trust my wife, the one who's carrying my child. I'm sorry I get on my soapbox, but this be mattering to me.
No, like
If you don't
this,
know,
we
like
need to
this
Say
hear
it,
really
bro.
this.
matters to me.
Say it, bro.
So my bad, bro.
no,
My bad.
no apologies necessary. You better say that shit.
Nah. Cause I mean, listen, Kev, just like me, is a very involved father. He knows what the mother of his child went through, not only but to carry the baby, then nurture the baby after the baby is born.
Yeah,
Like men who really care about nurturing the generation that they cultivate know these things. What I'm talking about. This is a fact. This is why me and Kevin sit down and talk about this so often,
Yeah.
yeah,
because this is real to us. That's why when they was just like, yo, you want to get on this? Yeah, I'll get on this and talk with Kev about it, because we do
absolutely,
this at the
100%.
studio
Exactly,
anyway. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
exactly.
saying? And this is the most important part. The beef and the
Yeah.
drama around the show is what people watch. It's entertaining. I get it.
Yeah,
But this part here, advocating for black women, especially in these times, this is what it's about.
yeah.
Oh,
And I'm
we
gonna step off now. My bad. I'm off the soapbox.
Beautifully
no,
stated,
we
my guy.
we greatly appreciate it because this season is touching serious topics, and to
Hmm.
have a cast that may have gone through these things in real life and then is also playing it on screen is one thing, but then to come and speak to the audience and tell them your perspective is so needed. So we definitely appreciate you guys just taking the time to tap in with us and tap in with the audience and to speak about these serious matters, because if we not talking about it, who else is?
Nah, it's our
Exactly.
pleasure. It's our pleasure. We
It
have a
is.
responsibility because the audience,
Exactly.
we 85% women watch the show.
Yeah.
85%, and majority of those women are black women.
Yeah.
So these are the stories we got. These are their stories. Like we have to pay homage to those who have to live through these things like consistently.
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's an empowering thing to knowledge of self and the ability to give a shit are two really empowering things.
Yeah.
And knowing that we're a part of something greater than ourselves and being able to instill that in our children and also to know what it means to be vulnerable and feel our things and how to show up for people. Right. And then in relation to knowing each other, just like Deval stated, like taking the time to, especially when it comes to your partner, right? Like learn each other, know each other, understand the different dynamics, the different stages of the cycle, understand the different dynamics of the pregnancy, understand what's happening, and being able to listen to the body, being able to show up and explore and stay tuned in is paramount. right? It's paramount. And so the ability both for Black women to have greater knowledge of self, of their bodies and their processes, so that they're more tuned in, and then for the partners to do the same, so everyone's like locked step in. You're a unit, you're a team, you're a
Yeah,
squad, dialed in, right? That's so important, and in every way, you know what I mean. So it's a very important focus, and to me, these are the things that are actually happening in the world. So
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't we talk about them? You know what I mean? Like, why is this not a
Mm-hmm.
regular conversation? And not to lay on any narrative of a victim narrative, but to know the reality of things that people are dealing with in life and how to meet it and refine it and help support so it doesn't have to continue. So,
absolutely.
Bro,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm glad you, but you know what? You said something there that I don't want to glance over. You said not to harp on the victim narrative because that's what'll happen when you point out the facts, right? A lot of times in these situations, you point out facts and statistics, and people say, "Oh, don't be a victim." But what you said is very true. How do we prevent this from happening if we just ignore the facts?
100%.
Stating the facts is
Exactly.
not being a victim. Stating facts is saying this
Exactly.
is a problem. Let's acknowledge the problem. Let's change it. So I'm
Exactly.
glad you brought that up. Like that's not victimhood, bro. This y'all now y'all see why me and Kevin be vibing because when he talk, I listen.
We in y'all group chat right now.
No, I'm just like listen because he really
Yeah.
he really is deliberate
Yeah.
about his words, and that's
Yeah.
important because words have power, and people get on this app a lot and play. I'm one of those people because it's entertainment. I play all day. Y'all know that Zach gonna make jokes, but when it comes to stuff like this, man, it's important to get people who really care. Because
Yeah.
what Kev said too, the ability to care and the ability to give a shit. Like you have to really give a shit and do something about it. So
Yeah.
bro, man, I'm glad we did this, man. Especially around this time what the country is going through. We need healing.
Straight
We
up.
all need
Absolutely.
healing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Definitely. I do want to ask one last fan comment or question.
Mhm.
Now we can wrap up this live because I appreciate you both. Um, what's her name? Kiona or Kiana Holmes asks, will everyone who was there for Karen sue the hospital for ignoring her emotional pain? I'm going to remix this a little bit.
Okay.
How should we as people handle um, whenever doctors or nurses are not listening to us? How should we handle that?
Well, this is the first thing. The first thing is document everything.
Yeah.
Everybody has this one. I'm on it right now. This thing called a phone, right?
Yeah.
When people start to behave in a way, because I'll tell you what happened with ours. The epidural was going in, they kept pulling it out, yanking it out of the case back. Her leg is shooting out. I said, hey, you got to be
Mm,
careful. Lady says, calm down, Mr. Ellis. I said, I'm not doing anything. Calm down, Mr. Ellis. I said, I'm not doing anything. How about you do your job? They called security.
Mm.
Security came in, Miss Ellis, we're gonna need you to calm down. Now, this is Mr. Ellis becomes more Zach, because I told them motherfuckers, it's gonna take more than y'all two to get me out this hospital. I tell you that much.
that's
But I
what
will
we
say this after that. I picked that phone up. I said, I'm documenting everything from now on. The minute they know you watching, they move different. Because documentation, you
yeah.
can't, like, you can't go, everything else is hearsay. They did this, they said this. No, document it.
Yeah.
Document, especially when you go into hospitals. Because don't trust the judicial system. I don't.
Mm,
Big bucks always win. So if the hospital has better lawyers, no matter how good you are, they'll find a way around it. But when you document and record, there's no way around that. You go in the hospital and stuff is feeling fishy, pull that phone out quickly. That's my thing to everybody. And if you're going back and forth with a doctor, do it through email so you can save that correspondence as well. Because that correspondence will hold up in the court of law.
nice. Yeah. Documenting everything, evidence,
Hmm.
tangible things that can be brought to light, especially because you don't want to get caught up in the here's like who said what and what
Yeah.
was done with no tangible
Hmm.
recourse. Because like it's for everything that ideally we'd like to see the world function in actual care. A lot of people just like to save their own assets, right? So accountability
Hmm.
can be
Yeah.
scarce in different containers, and uh, and so being able to document and keep track of, because again, and accountability is necessary, and
Hmm.
sometimes it doesn't always come effortless. but it's necessary to keep doing the things that help support that being in place. You know what I mean? Because if it's,
Yep.
especially when it's in a setting like a hospital, because you're dealing with people's lives, and the people are in the hospital, right? It's because there's something,
True.
whether it be in this case of pregnancy, but there's different things happening, and so, and as Devale, what you stated, I have friends of mine who actually live in Atlanta,
Mm.
and sometimes I'm in town, I stayed with them, and they had a baby, and they had some like health complications. They the first like 6 months of the baby's life was in the hospital, and they would go, and there were certain things the doctor would tell them, and they knew something was off, and they had to keep pushing to get other
Mm-hmm.
opinions and other things. And one day he just had it, and he hit his threshold, and they were like, "Calm down," right? And he was like, "What? Calm down. I'm fine. Well, I want to know
Uh-huh.
why no one's doing the thing, right? Like, why are we not
Right.
doing the thing we're supposed to be doing?" And
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
and to really, and what it means to take a stand, and not to, obviously, to get yourself in trouble, but to ensure people get the picture and the message. And that, and because the other side of this is like, people don't always, we're not functioning where our entire civilization knows how to see beyond their personal reality,
That is true.
Yeah.
right? So they bump up against the like empathy and the considerations we talk about, what other people may be going through, especially if they
Mm-hmm.
work in a place where it's a constant. And if they don't
Mm-hmm.
stay present, they can get numb to that, right? Like they can start to get apathetic. And that's, especially in those kind of settings, that's where shit gets really risky, right? For the health and well-being. So being able to assert and stay on um, and be tuned into, and then document, all those things are necessary to ensure you're getting the best outcome possible, and also to ensure, to the best of your ability, that accountability is being had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mhm.
Well, Deval and Kevin, I appreciate the both of you for having this conversation with us. It was necessary, it was needed.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned a lot from this conversation. I'm sure our audience definitely has as well. So thank you both. And everyone, tune in next week for episode 3 and just the whole season, because we're talking about some real stuff on Sisters. So
Yes,
I hope you
ma'am.
guys enjoyed this wind down.
Well, we appreciate y'all. Y'all know I enjoyed my wine because there ain't no more left in this cup. We appreciate you, Kev, my dog. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say this: no pause. I love you, bro.
I
I
love you
do,
too,
bro.
brother.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
want
Like I
you,
love you,
bro.
man. Like keep being
I
a
rock.
dope dad and helping all of us be better humans, man. I appreciate you, bro.
Same, bro. I appreciate you too. I rock with you any day of the week. You know that, without
Yes,
question. I
Love
sir.
love you too,
this.
brother.
We gotta have more
Yeah,
of the guys on.
yeah. Hey, we here for it. We're here
We
for it.
here
For
for it,
sure.
man. I love y'all.
Love
Yes. Well,
y'all. Yeah,
thank
thank you all for the
you.
love.
Have a
Peace.
good night.